Hello. I'm doing an energy reading today for Instagram Collective. We're on live. Hopefully it records. That noise in the background, hopefully that's not too disturbing. I think that's the air conditioner. Yeah. But anywho, hello. Happy birthday, Cancer. And what else are we talking about? Yeah, popped on so we can get into this Mercury retrograde energy. It starts on the 17th. Mercury will be retrograde in Leo. And we're in the pre-shadow phase, so you're probably feeling it now. You'll feel it a little bit after it wraps up too in the post-shadow phase. Mercury is a planet of communication. It rules Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is all about the information, processing information, computing information fast. You know, they're very creative too. So like if it's something that you got all these ideas about, but you don't, like you're on the precipice, you feel it, but you don't know what it is. And a Gemini will be like, oh, you want to do boom, boom, boom. And you're like, that's it. But anyway, Virgo, of course, is a healing energy. But this is not about that. I'm just telling you, Mercury rules those zodiacs. And Mercury is the planet of communication. With it being a retrograde, it's kind of like a rewind. So you will have lessons to come back up. Some will be receiving blessings. Some will be receiving lessons. The overall is, did you learn this lesson? But with the other planets planeting, is that a word? But anyway, Jupiter is doing some stuff. Jupiter is in Cancer. Saturn is doing some stuff. Uranus moved into Gemini. They're talking about conflict over the world. If you believe it, it'll manifest. But I feel like the energy may not show up in the traditional historic way. The conflict may be in your world. It may not be a global international thing as a whole, but I feel like it will be conflict in your space, conflict in your friend's space as it relates to you and what you got going on. And I feel like with this full moon that we're in, Capricorn energy, full moon is all about releasing. It's about the climax. Some things have come to a head. Some things needs to be released, needs to be done differently. But the training, programming, and conditioning is hard. So you're needing to have strength and power over that and know, like, okay, as I release what is no longer serving me anymore, I will attract, I will receive, I will step into the power of what does serve me. But anyway, that's Capricorn full moon. We're in that energy now. Today is Sunday, which is a day ruled by Leo, also ruled by the sun. Masculine energy, vitality, and success. But as I said, I'm here talking about Mercury retrograde in Leo. Today is a Leo day. We're in the pre-shadow phase. The energy is X is coming back. That's the overall theme. We know that, right? But as I said, because if you don't know anything about Mercury retrograde, communication start fucking up. Instagram always starts glitching. Communication start fucking up, whether that's verbal, text, phone, email, any form of communication. Sending a kite. For those of y'all that are locked up, they won't let me out. I'm talking about physically, spiritually, mentally too. But anyway, so the overall theme, like I said, is lessons. But it's a lot of X's coming back. And that's, if you don't know anything about Mercury retrograde, as I was saying a minute ago, I think most people know that. And they know about the communication that gets, a little razzle-dazzle. But I'm saying that to say that there's a particular X coming around for some people. I feel like mutable signs, which is it Virgo, Sag, and Pisces? But anyway, look it up. But it could resonate heavily with mutable signs and fixed signs. Not so much cardinal, but you could have cardinal in your energy. And I'm talking about Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. So you could have mutable and cardinal signs in those placements in your birth charts. But specifically, I know Virgo is a mutable sign. Sagittarius is a mutable sign. And there are 2 more that I forget. But anyway. So this could heavily resonate with those signs, but it is for everybody. So there's a particular ex coming back. But this ex is trying to, and it could be a situation too, but I'm getting heavily with the exes. This ex is trying to make somebody else feel bad, look back, like they want to show up with you because you would be a good retaliation against something else that they're letting go of. You know, it's really giving a digression if you fuck with this. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't learned this lesson, because if you move forward and okay, well, we could talk about it and all that other stuff, it will be a digression on your path, whatever that is, whatever you're doing, you know. But yeah, they want to show somebody else up. You know, I feel like whoever it is, they want to see them with you, collective. This is somebody that was a trigger in your relationship. Like if you could have been a fly on the wall, they stay constantly going at it back and forth. Like, you thinking about that motherfucker again? You thinking about dude again? What the fuck? What you thinking about? You thinking about them? It's giving the one that got away and they know it. But it's really not the one that got away, collective, because I feel like this person is trying to come back around. They push you away. Their actions, their words. It wasn't in alignment. What they were saying, what they were doing. 2 different things. You know, very surface energy. You know, because I feel like you provided some type of healing for them. Even if they didn't know it then, they know it now. So they want to come up, you know, come back around with this persona. You know, and Leo is about persona. They're about, you know, cockiness, confidence. The body part related to Leo is the heart. You know, like the brave heart, lion up. But this one, this Leo, and it ain't got to be a Leo, you know, but this the energy of Mercury retrograde in Leo. We're sitting in Sunday, a Leo day. They don't have to be a Leo, you know, but the energy is there for the Mercury retrograde. So they may try to double back on you during this Mercury retrograde in Leo and harness the power of the persona and confidence and, you know, that Leo has. Very magnanimous, very dramatic, very performative. You know, this person is. It's just giving, like I said, surface. It's giving unevolved Leo. They're going to, because that's the only energy they can access with this Leo. They can only access the unevolved because they're uninvolved. They're unevolved. You know, but you provided healing for them when you were in their life, in their sphere. You're not anymore. You've removed your energy heavily, and they feel it. You know, I just feel like you've enforced the boundaries hard. You know, hard pause, hard, get the fuck up out of here. And I feel like this person coming back in is quite neurotic. They're very much magician energy, good at manipulating energy, projecting, not protecting, projecting a certain energy or a certain thing, but it's not it. You know what I mean? They're like I said, they're good with the persona, the imagery, surface imagery, very glamour magic, okay? But it's also giving, like, you know, you heal them a lot. They need to come in for some more healing. Now, I feel like this has been a theme back and forth. And I feel like they put the energy out that they were coming in before, but they didn't. But this time, they're literally trying to show up in the physical. And I feel like for those who are resonating with this, you have been tested these past few days, particularly on a Sunday, also possibly on a Tuesday, which is Mars Day or your Moon Day. So if you are like a Sagittarius, you may have been tested on Thursday. You know, things that are trying to get you out your body, to get you to react, to see how you are now. You know, because this person doesn't know. Like I said, you've removed your energy. You're not in each other's sphere, in each other's life. Very hard pause. Get the fuck on. I'm over here. You know, and some of y'all are thinking long handle spoon. No, it's not long handle spoon. It's no spoon. So if you still been dealing with this energy that I'm speaking of with the long handle spoon, this is not for you. This is not for you. Because some people are like, well, you know, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I still do wish them well. I still pray for them. Nah. I'm talking to the people that ain't wishing well, ain't praying. You're not wishing bad, but it is what it is. And you over here, you have nothing. Mum's the word. You know, to the point where they're waiting on a response. They're waiting for you to come forward. They're waiting on a response, some type of message. But your response is no response. You just like... But it's like they're trying to come in and tame you. Interesting with this Leo Mercury retrograde. For some, it's just like to finish you off. You know, especially if they caused a lot of hurt in different aspects of your life. A lot of disruption, a lot of stagnation, a lot of decline. You know, because I feel like those who are resonating with this, after you were dealing with this person, the situation, you had to really rebuild you and your self-esteem. You had to do that. And you've done that. And they know you've done it. You know, that's why they don't know how to come at you now. You know, but my thing is, it's a fear involved. It's giving cowardly lying. It's a fear involved. And they also are choosing, to come back in this Leo energy, this Mercury retrograde energy, because most people that are aware of the Mercury retrograde, you know, I tell people like, okay, if there's any type of discord, you know, don't make any snap judgments then. You know, just kind of let it settle, let the energy of Mercury retrograde pass. You know, but that's like, I'm talking about marriages, relationships, not no situationship, not no old ex. This is not anything you need to let pass, because if you're resonating with this energy, this person, this situation showed you who and what they are in every aspect. So you don't need to let no Mercury retrograde pass. You know what the fuck it is. And even if, because some people are, well, some people have changed, some people have grown, some people have evolved. They have. But I feel like I said, coming to finish you off, very Swords energy. Like I said, it's some tones of Gemini in it now. Right now, we're in an Aquarius moon until it transitions into Pisces for the daily moon. Very Gemini energy. You know what it is. You have all of the information. So even if they have changed in, say, an emotional space, that ain't got nothing to do with their mental, their physical, their financial, their, you know what I mean, their psyche. Again, because it's giving neurotic. Look up neurotic so you get the full picture, because the persona, again, the shifts, the changes. You ain't in this person's life, so letting it settle is like... And some shit that has rekindled previous to this, that rekindled in the last Mercury retrograde, which is Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is watery, subconscious, very mysterious, intuitive too. Some things rekindled during that time. That shit is ending during this retrograde of Leo. It's ending. The writing was on the wall then, though. You knew and you got the red flags, but I feel like some of y'all didn't act on like, okay, you're just like, oh, let me give it a chance. But it's like, no, this shit ain't changing. So it's ending this retrograde. But like I said, somebody want that old thing back. And they want it back, you know what I'm saying, to heal them, to restore their image too. Because you got to think about it, collective. If they show up with you, it's like, damn. Who is that? They must, you know, it'll increase that. It's just giving their coffers, their bank. It will restore, especially if they're like no funds available. You know, whether it be spiritual currency, mental, emotional, financial currency, your energy itself will restore them. I mean, healing. But it'll get a reaction out of this person and situation they haven't healed from. You know, they basically want you to carry their motherfucking bags, bitch. Like you're the bellboy, the bellman, the bellwoman. I mean, if you still into doing physical labor, that's on you. You know, some people like, you know, getting physical with their hands or whatever. But this is back-breaking labor. We talking about in the fields. We talking about root chakra energy, ancestry, karmic ties, soul bounds. Not bonds, you're bound. Like I said, they're coming to finish it off. So if you thought this person was a karmic or twin flame, and then it turned out to be a karmic soulmate or whatever, they're coming back to do the work. Because I said it's magician energy. They're coming back to do the work, so you can't go anywhere else without them. You'll always be, it's just giving ball and fucking chain. And it could be some people coming in with marriage. You know, they could be marriage minded. But the mind, the body, the spirit, and the energy, is that marriage minded? And even if it is, what kind of marriage do you want? Is it in alignment with what they want? No. It's a hard no. It's a big ass motherfucking no. Alright, I'm finna go. Take it how it resonates. Any questions, comments, you know, contact me. If you feel like you have contacted me and I ain't responded back to you, we ain't in alignment. It's nothing personal. Or it could be you already know it, but more than likely, we not in alignment if you've contacted me, and that goes for anybody, and you ain't heard nothing back, we ain't in alignment. But anyway, deuces.